Mail time! Yeah, you know what this is about. Let's just jump right into it. Okay, so let's check this out. We've got a flight controller. So we got two F4s, two F3s. Let's take a look at the F4 because it was already coming out of the package. Now, I, in particular, have really been favoring a lot of the all-in-one boards or just really any electronics where they take the time to go ahead and just kind of integrate a lot of things. The more things you can integrate, in my opinion, the better. Yes, there's the argument that, well, what if it breaks? But I'm gonna go ahead and argue, when does a receiver break? So this is what FR Sky has come about. Here you go, check it out. It's got an F4 chip, SD card reader. As you can look at the back, it's definitely got antennas on there because this has an XSR built right into it as well as the OSD chip. So I'm guessing runs Betaflight, CleanFlight, anything along those lines. And the benefit is you don't have to worry about a receiver. It's already built in. So this is the F4 version. Again, it looks like it's got all of your basic Betaflight functions. The only difference is this is not the built-in PDB. But they've got an F3 version. This has a built-in PDB. So now you've got the PDB, flight controller, OSD, SD card reader, and current sensor. This is where you're going to go ahead and solder up all of your speed controllers to, your ESCs to. This is definitely a lot bigger than what I'm used to. As you can see, this is what your typical flight controller looks like, 36 by 36. Has the same mounting conditions, but definitely a lot wider. This is something that I would personally use if it fits into your frame. Obviously, this is a little bit bigger. I don't see any issues with most of the frames that I'm thinking about out there. We have 4 different ones. We have an XSR F30.
So there's a 30, 30, 3PO, 4PO.
PO, and I'm thinking that the P is the PDB side. So all the ones without the P is your more basic, no PDB type of flight controller, while these other ones with the P at the end has that built-in PDB. I don't think we need to show every single one, but you get the general gist of the idea. If you are an FR Sky user, these flight controllers are definitely worth looking into. We've got a couple of frames here. Let's start off with this guy right here. So this is from Kinetic Aerials. This is the Spear X frame. It is your basic X geometry layout, which is my personal favorite, and it's got interlocking arms if you look at the bottom. So interlocking arms, perfect X geometry, definitely a very unique and interesting design from Kinetic Aerial. There's a couple of accessories here, which you can see, just battery pads. They include a nice little carbon fiber hang tag, a couple of 3D printed parts and accessories, just depending on how you build this whole thing out. And we got this for you guys. So Chris from Kinetic Aerial, if this is something that you guys are interested in, here is a discount code that you can go ahead and use for all of our Rotor Riot audience and fans if you're interested in the Kinetic Aerial frame, so go ahead and check that out. So, alright, let's go ahead and look at this one. Jumping into the micro category, BQE multi-rotors, and this is the Pixel. Check out the Pixel. Now we went ahead and built one of these up already. So here's that guy. I believe this is set up for that 1.9, maybe 2-inch prop size. They've got different sizes as you can see. It is made for one of those all-in-one cameras, and it does use the 20 by 20 mounting circle mounting flight controller thingamahoots. You know what I'm talking about. But if you look really closely, it's also got some slots in for the people that are going to go real crazy and go to like 16 by 16. Very nice and well packaged. It's got everything you need, including this nice little tube to go ahead and use as a protector for your antenna and or your receiver. Now, woo, check this one out. This is one of my personal favorites, AstroX. That is this guy. This is his latest frame. This is the Switch X. Now the Switch is a line of new multi-rotor or mini quad frames where he's got different configurations. This particular one is the True X as designated by the Perfect X geometry, but he's got the same exact frame for freestyle, which is a little bit more of an H pattern. So basically take this front and bring these two motors closer in, or he's also got the stretch version, so then take this two motors and kind of bring them forward and squeeze these two in. So he's got a frame for everybody out there, but something that I always like to point out to everybody, AstroX just has some of the most gorgeous and good, top quality looking carbon fiber end cuts. As you can see, it looks like it's got a coating is the best way that I can describe it, but everything, the tolerances, the cuts on this thing is super sweet. They used flushed mounting hardware. I love that. It looks so clean, and this was very, very easy to put together. So check that out, fellas. That again is the new frame from AstroX called the Switch. Okay, so speaking of frames, let's take a look at this new guy. Obviously it's a little bit more than a frame. This is a ready to fly. Now, a couple of months ago you might have seen the baby Vortex 150. This is the 180 version. I will say that the 150 is a lot of fun to play with, probably on the docile side if you are like me and have been flying 5 and 6 inch mini quads lately. But this is the 180 meant to swing 4-inch props. It's got all the same internals and electronics as the Vortex 150, just stretched out for 4-inch props. Now, I do want to mention, I have flown this with these specific motors, and this thing is an absolute beast. In the right hands, this will give the guys running 5 and 6-inch quads a run for its money. This thing is not to be underestimated at all. Throw an 850 mile 4S pack on this thing, and I guarantee you, you're gonna think it's probably one of the fastest things in the world. Like I can barely pilot this thing, you know, with full throttle the whole way around the course. It's just really, 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 really fast. Very agile, and you know what, if you don't want to build, Vortex and Immersion RC have been always great about that. This is definitely something to look into. Immersion RC Vortex 180. Check it out. So let's talk about antennas real quick. Immersion RC is coming out with the new version of the Spiral called the Stubby. Now you can probably tell why it's called the Stubby because it's a lot shorter, but more importantly, Anthony from Immersion RC has promised me that this new molding that they use for the cap of their Spiro net, I guess I'll call it indestructible. So this is now, yeah, okay, so there you go. I mean, on the old Spiro net cap, that would have definitely snapped over by now. So I know that wasn't exactly a true flight test, but I'm gonna go ahead and take their word for it that this is going to be an indestructible cap. So goodbye to bending your Spiro nets. And I'm a fan of short stubby antennas anyways, so check that out. But continuing on to the antenna department, we've also got Lumineer's AX2. Most of the popular VTXs that's out there nowadays uses a UFL connection. What's a UFL? Well, it is that guy. Yep, check it out. That, in my opinion, is going to become the new standard in connecting VTX antennas. For the simple reason that you are losing a lot of weight ditching the whole SMA deal, and it just makes it easy. Now, be careful though, because UFL, once you pop them off and on enough times, they do begin to wear out. That's probably the only downside. But for the hardcore people who's trying to lose every single gram of weight, this is definitely the way to go. And if you're a racer or you're just trying to basically just shrink your footprint so that you're not hitting anything, the AX2 is probably something you're going to want to look for. This, ladies and gentlemen, another product from Immersion RC is the personal Lap RF race timing system. For anybody out there who likes to conduct their own races, everything from legit full-on professional races, this is the system that they use right here. If you're not familiar, it is a small little puck. This is obviously not life size, but you get this, you download the app to your phone, and now you've got a very easy to use and effective lap transponding system that does not use any external transponders. It uses the channels to go ahead and make sure that everything works fine. This works on anything from small tiny whoops to your full-on mini quad size quads, obviously, again, because it is relying on the VTX and not a transponding system. So check this out. It's a great tool if you just like to practice and see if you can bring your lap counts down. Yes, this is a bag from Gemfan, and they've got a bunch of new propellers for us. This tri-blade Gemfan 5152 with these super clear props. I like that. I like super duper clear props. And they got them in different colors too, so let's check out. I like the marketing on this. Whiskey props, checking them out. Boom. But for our micro friends, let's check this out. Here you go. This is the 3052 prop, coming out with a whole bunch of different colors. 3052 in pink, if you like pink. 5152 bi-blades. Long story short, Gemfan coming out with some nice new packaging, in my opinion. Awesome, good job. I think we've got one last package to go. This, you might have seen a review by our friend Mr. Joshua Bardwell. This is a flight controller by Holybro called the Kakute. If you haven't seen Josh's video, what makes this special is that this is an all-in-one flight controller with a PDB current sensor built into it, which means all you got to do is bring your ESCs to go ahead and solder it up to this. Got the OSD chip. It is an F4 processor. But this is what makes this different. As you can see, we've got this little extra board right here, which is connected by a ribbon cable. And this is actually the gyro mounted to, I don't know if you can see that right there, to a little bit of double-sided foam, I guess a tape, like a little foam wedge in there. And basically the whole point of this is to take that whole concept of soft mounting to the next level. This takes the approach of soft mounting the actual gyro itself. While I have not personally tested this, if you check out Joshua's channel, he can show you some concrete data that this does work. So I believe that is it. That brings us to the winners of our last meal time, which we will go ahead and make right here. So if you want to join this episode or this round of a giveaway for mealtime, you're going to want to use the hashtag It's Mealtime, man. It's Mealtime, man. Why did that sound better, like, in my head? And as I'm like saying it through this camera, it just sounds kind of cheesy. Whatever. You want to win something? Use that damn hashtag. It's Mealtime, man. Again, we'll pick that out on Instagram. You will win one of these giveaways: FR Sky built-in integrated all-in-one flight controllers, or the Kinetic Aerial Spear X. Good luck. Have fun. See you on the next one. I do kind of want to lick it a little bit.